His name was George Perry Floyd, Jr.
Prosecutors this morning hammering home what many observers consider the most jarring element of this case.
9 minutes and 29 seconds.
The amount of time George Floyd lay on the pavement, pinned by Derek Chauvin.
9 minutes and 29 seconds.
The former Minneapolis police officer sat expressionless in court, calmly taking notes as the events of last May 25th were recounted in methodical detail.
A knee to the neck, a knee to the back, twisting his fingers, holding his legs for 9 minutes and 29 seconds, the defendant's weight on him. The lungs in his chest unable to expand because there wasn't enough room to breathe.
Chauvin's charged with second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter in Floyd's death. Video played a big role in the trial, closing arguments no exception. And Chauvin attorney Eric Nelson had his own focal point today, what a reasonable officer would do, knowing what Chauvin knew, as he responded to a call from Cup Foods that Floyd had allegedly passed a counterfeit $20 bill and appeared under the influence.
I submit to you that the state has failed to meet its burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
The defense says 46-year-old George Floyd died of heart disease and illegal use of fentanyl and methamphetamine, and that Derek Chauvin was doing what he'd been trained to do.
He was following Minneapolis Police Department policies. He was trained this way. It all demonstrates a lack of intent.
Even though the city's police chief, testifying for the prosecution during the trial, said Chauvin had violated department policy on use of force and de-escalation.
This wasn't policing. This was murder. The defendant is guilty of all 3 counts. All of them. And there's no excuse.
They have to prove each of these elements beyond a reasonable doubt. And if you determine that they have done so, you convict. But if they are missing any one single element, it is a not guilty verdict.